installing a Hepco and Becker Royster tank bag on my 2018 MT-10. There is a couple things you're going to need before you start. You're going to need a 4mm Allen to remove the factory tank ring Allens. You're going to need a 3mm for the ones that will go with the tank ring adapter, and also for the screws that install the mounting plate to the bottom of the tank bag. The other thing you will need is an 8mm wrench to hold these nuts on the bottom, and a drill, because you will be drilling through the bottom of your tank bag in order to mount the adapter plate to the bottom. So pretty much first things first is I would suggest go ahead and take off your factory tank ring and install the Royster or the Hepco and Becker adapter, because you're going to need to test fit your bag before you install it. One, for your own comfort, so the bag's not rubbing against you while you're riding, and also two, you don't want it to hit your handlebars. So inside this bag is, let's see, 2 lengths of screws. Let me just make sure I do have the right ones. And it also has 2 plastic sleeves that you can put on the magnetic strips. I'm not exactly sure how they go on, so we're probably going to leave those off for now. I guess they just snap on. I'm not exactly sure what the point of those are. So we're going to leave those off. If I find out I need them later, I will put them back on. So in each hole, you're going to need a spacer, and probably, if I had to guess, the fully threaded bolts. Actually, nope. Just barely thread on. So we're going to use the ones with the extra shank on them, if I don't drop them on the floor. There we go, that looks much better. And Hepco and Becker recommends to torque these to the factory specs, which is 2.9 foot-pounds or 4 Newton-meters. I already have my torque wrench set up for that, so let's go ahead and just run these down. So the next part is the fun part. So on the bottom of the tank bag is a recessed area where this plate is going to be mounted. So what you're going to want to do is find out where this is most comfortable for you and is also not going to interfere with your handlebars. The last thing you want is to have your tank bag get in the way of your handlebars and cause an accident or something because you can't steer out of the way. So I'm going to put this strap on here just so I can disconnect the locking ring, because it is magnetic and it's quite strong. So just want to loop this through here, and it has a cam buckle on the other side. Doesn't seem wants to go through. There we go. I will adjust this later. I just want to be able to release the ring so that I know where I need to mount it. So I test fitted this yesterday without the ring, but I want to make sure that it is up high enough and doesn't interfere with my bars or my phone mount, which I'll probably just end up relocating anyway. So it looks like if you don't have a phone mount on your FZ or MT-10, where I do, you can put it all the way forward if you'd like. I'm most likely going to move mine backwards just a little bit, just so it kind of sits even with all the lines on the motorcycle. So in order to get this off, you're going to want to hold the mount in place. And I'm hopefully not going to mess this up, but damn, it has a strong magnet. Alright. So it looks like, for me, about a little bit in between a quarter and a half an inch from the rearmost side of the bag is about where I'm going to want it. So I am going to grab a Sharpie and mark where I want this installed, because then I'm going to have to drill through the bottom of this in order to put the nuts and washers in there. The next thing you want to do is open up your tank bag, and on the inside it does have a waterproof liner that I already rolled back last night when I was looking at the bag, but there's a zipper in here. Go ahead and undo your zipper, and you're going to want to fold back. There's a Velcro strip on the inside. Fold back this waterproof liner, because you do not want to drill through that, because then obviously it would no longer be waterproof. Then I have a block of wood. I'll probably end up moving the camera here in a second, but I have a block of wood that I'm going to use to go ahead and drill through the bottom of this. You're going to need a 6mm drill bit. The closest I have is a 15/64 drill bit, which is like 5.9mm, so it should work just fine. But I'm just going to go ahead and drill it. I'll come back in a second. Alright, now that my holes are drilled and all of my shavings are out of here, in the other bag of parts you have plate just going to go on the bottom. 4 little sticky pads that are going to cover your bolt holes. And a set of 4 panhead screws with washers and nuts. And they're look like nylon lock nuts. So now they have a little diagram in here for bolting the lock unit on, and you're going to do bolt one of the large washers through each hole. I'm going to attempt to do this without all these falling out. Then on the opposite side, you will put a plate. I guess it probably doesn't matter which way it faces. Then you will put the lock unit on. Now you want the lock unit facing forward so that you can disengage the lock. But on each bolt, you're going to put a smaller washer and one of the lock nuts. These other 2 are a little bit too tight for me to turn by hand, so I'm going to grab an 8mm for the top of these and the ratchet to tighten down. Okay, so I'm going to undo this now that I have it on there. And they say to pull the eyelet through. I'm trying to see how they have this mounted.
A few moments later.
Guess that looks better. They have it going the other way in the picture, but I don't think I like the way that looks. This, once adjusted properly, I think it will look much better. The strap being in the front like that, because then I can just trim this. Alright, so let's try this again. If you can't tell, this is my first install video. So we're just kind of going with the flow here. That should be fine for now. So, after fighting with that, go ahead and find where your Velcro is on the inside. Somewhere, there it is. Go ahead and line that up. Inside of the tank, bag. Then close the zipper. And also, don't forget the stickies for the screw holes. I'm not sure exactly how they want you to put these in there. Alright, gotta make sure it works. And I'm pretty sure these caps, these caps are to probably go on here when you're not using the tank bag, so you don't have anything magnetic sticking there. So I would suggest probably just leaving these inside your tank bag, so if you plan on not using it for an extended period of time, you can just pop those on there and be done with it. This is a fully waterproof bag. It has a waterproof zipper and a roll top liner on the inside. And yeah, just line it up and clicks in. And it's pretty strong. I mean, it's moving the whole bike, so. Alright. I guess the next thing will be to trim this. I'll probably do this at a later time. I'm just going to tuck it in the bag for right now. But, there you go. And it is also expandable. So if you need to carry a little more stuff, you can. Alright, so if anybody has any questions, just message me or however this works. This is my first installation video, but I think it looks pretty good on there. The yellow actually matches the wheels pretty damn close. So if anybody else with the high-vis MT or FZ10 is thinking about getting a tank bag, I would highly recommend this. I know a lot of the other brands of tank bags are not waterproof, and they just come with a waterproof cover. That's not going to mean that, you know, they're not good, but you know, I like the fact that you do not need a cover with this one. It's already waterproof. So let me know what you think, and maybe I'll do some more with some other stuff that I do on this bike. Thanks. So just for anybody wondering how close this is to the tank, I know a lot of people want to get tank bags with the quick lock ring so that they don't have to worry about damaging their paint. I can tell you right now it's probably got a good inch or so underneath there before it even touches the paint. So here you go. None of this is even close to touching the paint. Even if you push down on this, the bottom is pretty sturdy. It's not going anywhere.